Hello and welcome to the Middle Game Madness. It's a series where we're going to look at some middle game positions. In this video though, we're going to look more at the opening slash middle game of the Italian game. We analyzed the Italian opening in the previous video, so we're just going to look at some of the lessons that we can learn in this opening. And the reason why I'm choosing this for the middle game analysis is that a lot of times the difference between the opening and the middle game is not so clear, but also we want to see how the ideas from the opening lead into the middle game. And one of the major things about the middle game is how pieces get traded, which I think we'll see in these 10 challenges. So the first one is that white is attacking our f7 square, which is kind of the idea behind the Italian opening, bringing the bishop out to c4. But in this case, we are absolutely fine with castling. And the reason is white is going to basically be trading off their knight and bishop for our rook. And a knight and bishop are worth about 6 points. A rook is worth 5. So we're gaining point of material. We also have 3 minor pieces developed, and white has just traded off both of their developed pieces, so definitely good for us. In this position, white has chosen a bad moment to castle, and the reason I think for this is because we can now put pressure on this knight, say for example jumping in here, which I think is the first move. They counterattack us, but we're fine with this trade, right? Because takes, we take, they take, we take, it's fine for us. We also, even if after takes, they drop back, we now have a half open G file and can put a rook and attack their king. So we're completely fine with this. So we can actually kick out the knight, and after they go back, we can now attack. And instead of dropping back here, we can attack with the tempo on the rook. And also, it's great to have the bishop eyeing that square for the future. So black has a dangerous attack here, but white's bishop blocks the G file. So what can we do about this? Well, whenever a piece is pinned, we always want to put pressure on the pinned piece. We don't have any knights in this position, but we can push our pawns. Now, this second push works because we have this tactic, checking the king and a discovered attack on the queen. And yeah, so just shows you the power of having the rook on the G file. So what do we have here? Pinning a knight on the king side is really advantageous before the opponent has castled. So the bishop is trying to pin us here. But how can black take advantage of the poorly placed bishop on h4? Well, I believe we can just push, can't we? Yeah. I mean, we're just going to be gaining a load of space. They end up sacrificing the knight, and I believe we can follow this up with attacking with the rook. And what we need to just be aware of is that they can jump in here and attack with more power on our pinned piece, but we can prevent that by bringing our bishop. Oh no, not bishop out. There's a stronger way to prevent this. Ah, yes. Another way, that's a bit passive. The more stronger way is now to pin their knight. Also, because we have the material advantage, we're happy to trade. So that's a good one to put there. Right, our next challenge. White's big center threatens to take over the game. So obviously we saw that's the idea of the opening. But black has a good defensive resource. So what is our defensive resource here? Well, I believe we can take and save our bishop by getting a tempo on their king, and now we can take the free pawn. They're going to castle, and we need to be a bit careful, but this should be fine for us. Black's knight on e4 is vulnerable to attack, so this knight here is not defended. How can white take advantage? Now, I've failed a couple of times at this challenge. I keep taking here, but I think the issue is that they can take over the center and put pressure on our bishop. So how do we stop that? We place our bishop on the square, and now we are attacking. And what's the move here? Do we just take, or we just consolidate in the center? They've protected their piece, and our bishop's sitting pretty over there. And yeah, the main thing here is that we're stopping them from taking over the center. Right, so how should black prevent white from dominating the center here? I mean, just simply push. Protected by the queen, kicks out the bishop, and yeah, happy days. Black has captured too many pawns and white can win material. So remember, we push here c3, so they've hopped over and taken our pawn, but this allows us to fork them and picks up the knight. Right, 2 more challenges to go through. Black has been incautious and white can win material. So we've obviously brought up our bishop, but what we've done is we've played a4, and that allows the bishop to come back, but black has not done that. And because we played a4, we now can get a tempo on the bishop and trap it. Bishop has nowhere to go, and we are just winning material. So yeah, it's quite important to remember that a4 move. So this is a game that we looked at by this great player over here, and they have taken our rook, but we have the following combination. So I believe we start with this check, and now we don't check like this. We actually look at the queen and how she doesn't have a lot of squares, so we can now put pressure. They're going to block, but now what we need to do is set up our queen to try and hit the king. So let's bring our knight into the game. They try and get back into the game, but I believe we can just go here, or do we first? No, we must go here first. No, we're bringing the rook in. No? What am I missing? We don't go here first. Do we? Ah, yes! Yes, we do go first because we're threatening the checkmate. Aha, yes, I remember now. And then after they block, we can take, and we're setting up another discovered attack. We then go here because we want to keep an eye of that. We take, and finally we go, and we're done. Right, a little bit of a stumble at the end there. But yeah, I think there's some good info and instructive stuff there for everyone. So thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.